In today's video, I am going to show you how I painted this beautiful sunflower with watercolors in very few simple steps. First things first, I am going to get all my materials ready. I have arches of watercolor paper, my watercolor, my water, dagger brush, and a round brush. Now with you can do this freehand or just use a little template like a cup or something like that to draw your center of your flower. I am not putting it right on the middle of my page because I like a little bit of variation on my composition, and that gives me a little bit of space in case I want to add a second flower or a petal or a leaf or something. So this is my dagger brush. It's a whole beam brush that is synthetic. I bought it when I lived in Japan, so I can't find it online, but any dagger brush will be okay. Now a very fun technique for the sunflower that I'm going to paint is to dip the tip of the brush in the secondary darker color. So what I'm doing is constantly like loading my brush, where I put a very large amount of cadmium yellow, and then the very tip of the brush I put the cadmium red orange. So I keep adding more paint and more paint to my brush, and sometimes I clean it in between when it starts getting a little bit too orange. Now I like to use a lot of water in the first layer of the sunflower, so it creates a beautiful transparent layer. So I'm just going to continue around my little circle and fill in the entire area of the flower, basically my first layer. So do note that with the dagger brush, it might take a little bit of practice, but you want to aim, like put the angle part of the brush towards the center of the petal and drag it, like push and lift. Basically, it is a very soft motion where like you just turn the brush a little bit around, you give it a little bit of a circular motion, and always remember that the angle part goes in the inside of the petal. So I'm going to go ahead and repeat these steps. It's a very relaxing process where I just go around the first layer of the flower and keep, you know, dragging the brush in a circular kind of motion, focusing on the inside of the brush being on the inside of the petal. So I'll leave you guys with this first layer, and we'll move on to the second layer soon. Alright, so now that my first layer is completely dry, I have to make sure that it's completely dry for the transparency technique to work. You can see in this first petal, like you can see the leaves behind this new petal that I'm painting, and it is an absolutely beautiful technique, and I use it whenever I can. It is absolutely gorgeous. It looks soft and it looks very delicate. So I'm gonna go ahead and do my second layer of petals in this very same technique. So using the edge, the angle edge of the brush on the inside of the petal. So I'm filling in the empty spaces. Basically, this is a very characteristic of the sunflower, of course. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish my second layer. Now for the third layer, I want to do smaller petals, and wherever I see like little empty spaces, I'm gonna fill in with the smaller petals and a little bit of a more intense paint. So I add a little bit more cadmium yellow, cadmium orange, and I'm focusing on the empty little spaces. Alright, now that I am done with my 3 layers of my beautiful flower, I am going to do the center of the flower. So I already mixed a brown color for the center of the flower, and I'm just going to fill in with a light brown color. Alright, now that the center of the flower is done and I'm waiting for it to dry, I am grabbing another brush and I am making a green for the stem and the leaves of my flower. So I typically mix my green, but you can grab the green from your palette or any other green that you like. I try to aim for a very dark green because it creates a beautiful contrast with the orange of the sunflower petals. So it's just a mixture of cadmium yellow and indigo, and to make it darker I just keep adding a little bit more indigo, but that is up to you guys. So with my brush I am just dragging a line down, and that will give me it. Remember that sunflowers have a very thick kind of stem. It's like very stocky, I guess. So just go ahead and draw the stem, draw the leaves, and the leaves are very big and bulky as well. Alright, now that we are done with the stem and the leaves, I am going to add a darker brown to the very center of the flower because I want to give dimensionality to the center of the flower so it doesn't look so like one layer, so flat. So I am adding a darker, just dabbing little dots of a darker brown. So I added a little bit more indigo to my brown and it's just like made it really dark. Alright, now for the very last step, I am going to use a Posca marker. You can also use gouache for this, but because it's a repetitive motion of just little dots, this will give it like a very fun like texture to the center of the flower. This is a very, personally, I will say, it's a very meditative process. We're just doing a repetitive motion for a couple of minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and filling just the outside of the center of the flower. It gives it dimensionality. It gives it like an extra layer that makes the flower look really beautiful and pop. So if you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like the video and check out some other videos on my channel if you have time. Let me know if you have any questions, concerns, comments, suggestions, and don't forget that all the links to the materials are in the description below as well. But I'm always here, one message away, if you guys have any questions. All right, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys on the next video.